Name the NBA contracts that are less favorable to their teams than Russell Westbrook's. And I am putting John Wall on that list. I'm asking if Kevin Love is on that list. Are there others?
Next question. I had to, sorry.
Yeah, that is superb.
This playoff run, it's not a run, this playoff fall is a disaster for Russell Westbrook. A disaster. He shot, I think, 36% from the field, well, much worse than that from three-point range. He was the worst pull-up jump shooter in the entire NBA this year. The worst, statistically. 104 guys took at least 3 pull-ups a game. He was number 104. Interestingly, he shot 65% at the rim, which is his best figure ever. But then you have these games where he's just throwing it up at the backboard. His defense has been overrated for a long time. I think it was okay this year, but this idea that he had become some sort of stopper was ridiculous. You watch him when he gets screened at the three-point line and the screen hits. He's just out of the play. He's just gone. The shooting is just, there's just no way around it. I mean, this is a disastrous playoff run for him, and I don't know what you do because you're looking at the contract. To answer your question, I think only John Wall's is worse.
Yeah.
38 next year, 41, 44, 47. Sam Presti has done magic spinning all of these bad contracts into players that help the team. So like Reggie Jackson begets Enes Kanter, begets Carmelo Anthony, begets Dennis Schroeder, right? Who was a helpful player. That musical chairs are going to stop at some point. The popular suggestion is going to be, well, they have to trade Steven Adams. To who?
Right, in a league where the market for bigs...
Who's dying to pay? I love Steven Adams, a good player.
I love Steven Adams,
I would if you gave me the list of who would I like to get a beer with in the NBA, he's top 5. I don't know any teams dying to pay him $26 million next year and $27.5 the year after that. They're stuck. I think there's going to be Billy Donovan speculation starting like right now, and because I just don't know what else you can do.
Presti seems really committed to Donovan, and then there's just a history and an admiration there, and it isn't Billy's fault. I mean, let's say you want to fire a coach. What evaluative process do you take to fire that coach? To what extent does Billy Donovan have accountability for this? Or is it we just need to kind of shake things up? The Thunder seems so process-oriented. I don't know that it is or it's not on Billy. I don't know. I don't have that information, right? Like, I don't watch Billy Donovan in real time. I don't see what it's like around the facility. I'm not there. Like, I don't know. I'm not there when the conversations that matter happen. I'm not there. I see game adjustments. I see 10% of their grade. And that's the thing with Billy. I just don't think a process-oriented organization is I mean, maybe they will.
By the way, that's not sourced. That's just me saying this is typically what happens when a team is trapped like this and they've had a couple consecutive. I'm not saying I've heard any rumblings.
So, question, is there a chance of Russell Westbrook developing a Jason Kidd shooting renaissance late in career? It's not too late. Is it too late?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I mean, he's just, in terms of volume and inefficiency, he's nothing like Jason Kidd was. I mean, Jason Kidd was sort of like a 3 avoider or a wide open 3-point shot taker before he became an wide open 3-point shooter.
Temperamentally, it's different.
This is just, it's different.
So they're stuck.
This is the same general manager who turned Serge Ibaka into Paul George. I'm sure they have 5 contingency plans. I'm sure they've thought ahead. I'm sure they've targeted 20 different trades that they think are possible. I don't know what you think of this, actually, because the Harden trade will be the sort of definitional moment. It will be the inflection point, even more than KD leaving. I think the Harden trade will be. I think the most fundamental choice they made was Westbrook over Harden. That was a real choice between 2 ball handlers. And now Russ was a year ahead of Harden, so his contract timetable was accelerated.
I was trying to remember the timing.
Right, so that pushes you naturally, like we lock this guy up first. Okay, so now we have him. The only way you can say they didn't actively choose KD enough, if that makes any sense, was should they have investigated trading Russ? If they thought that was a reason that Kevin might leave, by not doing that, by not at least investigating it, did they push Kevin out the door? I don't know that's true. I have no idea. No one knows. Kevin will never cop to why he left, other than life changed.
And at that point, obviously, Harden's gone. So
Harden's already gone.
So
to me, Russ Harden was the choice. I think what really happened is they just didn't think James Harden was someone they wanted on their team at the price it was going to take. They just didn't think he stood for what they wanted to stand for as an organization, and they didn't think he was as good as he ended up being.
Russ was a more representative fit, let's say.
I think the off-court stuff with Harden bothered them. I don't think that's why they traded him, but I think it contributed to this idea that this guy stands for what we want, and this guy maybe doesn't, and let's see what we can do.